Hello everyone, it's Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo for another State of the Game. And I'm starting this one this week with Elite Dangerous because it has a little bit to do with Star Citizen 2. It's about promises not being delivered, okay? Now I purchased Elite Dangerous back when it was in premium beta, so it was $150. Because of that, I own the game and I own all the expansions that come out in the future. Expansions? Yeah, expansions, because the game really is not set in stone right now. It is done, well, the initial part of it, which you can say would be about a third to half of what Star Citizen is going to bring to us in the end, as far as content. As far as vastness of the universe, Elite Dangerous definitely has it beat. But something was promised to us. My voice is just shot from this weekend. I apologize. But something was promised to us by Frontier, by David Braben and his team, in that you would be able to play this offline. You would be able to have a solo offline mode. Now, that really did not appeal to me until I realized that 3, 4, 5 times a year, I'm traveling, and 90% of the time that I get put up by my company, I'm in a hotel that there's absolutely no way you're going to be able to play online games. Last year I tried to play World of Tanks from the Marriott I was in, and my ping was like 200. There was absolutely no way I was going to be able to play. So in that situation, I would not want to play an online game. But it's even worse than that, okay? Because I could still play the online soloable game, not the multiplayer one, because all it needs is a low bandwidth connection to update the markets, and it's updating them from what's actually going on in the real online game. But there are other people that are going to be traveling around the world that don't have internet connections that want to play this game. For instance, the military personnel, men and women from around the world, whether it be U.S., Britain, Germany, whoever's deployed, may be deployed to an area that's not, that doesn't have internet where they are. And a lot of those people bring their game systems with them. A lot of those people bring their games with them. And if they have a game that needs an internet connection to play, it's just not going to work. Well, soloable play was promised and then taken away probably about 10 days ago at this point. The community inside of Elite Dangerous it's smaller than Star Citizen at this point. I think it's only a few 100,000, but they are passionate and they are people that gave their money willingly. There was no $45 buy-in in the beginning. The buy-in was immediately $150 plus. I think it was $250 for the alpha. And yeah, it sounds like nothing when you take into consideration there's a lot of people in the Star Citizen universe that have spent over $2,500, and many that have spent $10,000, and still some that have spent $20,000. But that's a lot of money to ask from the average person, right? But those people went in wanting this solo play, some of them, right? And that's not going to happen at this point. So this is something that was a stretch goal from the beginning. This over here that I'm going to now is the Starport. Look at the name of the game. It's one of Chris Roberts' games. From the beginning, it's been promised that there were going to be private servers for Star Citizen. Now, Star Citizen is a game that is going to need an internet connection. Elite Dangerous does not. Why am I saying that? Well, because Elite Dangerous is built on the premise of a game from so many years ago, or built on the foundation of a game so many years ago that was not a big multiplayer game. It was a single-player game. From the beginning, Star Citizen has been built as a multiplayer game. First-person shooter, trading, space combat, racing, player universe, planet-side module, all these things are multiplayer. It's like trying to play WoW by yourself. It's not going to work. Multiplayer MMO single-player game with a very big, giant, massive multiplayer online piece of it. This game right here has been going on for 10 years or more. It came out a long time ago. I think 2001 is when it came out, so it's more than 10 years, right? Or was it 2005 it came out? I can't remember at this point. But it's still going. It's going because when Chris Roberts designed the game before he left Digital Anvil to start his movie career, he had the foresight to see that the game should be moddable. People should be able to throw mods into it, change the interface a little bit, put ships in there, and also be able to host games on their own servers. These servers are still around. I mean, look at them. They're around a decade later for people to play the game. That's pretty impressive. And this is something that's promised for Star Citizen. Now, I know why Elite Dangerous took away the solo play, and I'm not happy about it because I don't like people being let down, and this is a big company letting down little people that put their money into the game. But I can understand why. The game got bigger than what they originally envisioned, and now it's something completely, not completely different, but now it's something much more vast, much more intricate. The market alone for 4 billion star systems is probably a lot for them to put into a game that you could load onto your computer. At least I believe that. I could be totally wrong, but these are things that I'm hearing and I'm letting settle into my mind and coming to terms with. We're lucky if in our company, in our game, we're lucky if Star Citizen is going to have 100 systems at start, right? At system start. And I think that's I think that's a pretty good thing to think, right? You're going to probably have 100 systems to start. And they'll add more over time, but I don't think we'll ever get to all 400 billion stars in the galaxy. So 2 different games, 2 different reasons. And this is something that's been occupying my thoughts for the last few days. I've been, I had Thursday, I did a couple of videos for y'all, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday was Hell Week over at work, working the retail, working in retail like I did, and, hours upon hours. We won't talk about business, we'll just talk about hours. It was over 50 hours in the 4-day span, but it was over 50 hours of constantly running around in that time. And when I got off yesterday, I had to decompress. And the Steam sale was still going on Monday, and I had this $50 coupon that I had to burn, and I wound up buying Middle Earth. There went 5 hours of that day. Got an email from a friend not an email, I think it was a Facebook message from a friend who said, you know what, if you like that, you like Batman, why don't you go and try Batman Arkham Asylum. There went 7 hours of that, and of course, there's 118 minutes played inside of Arkham City, because that actually works on the Mac also, so I was able to play that on my Mac. So there went Tuesday, along with an orthodontist visit, and him saying, yeah, you're not getting them off for Christmas. So I'm still going to have braces through March of this year. Just things that have been going on in my life. So that's where I'm at with my thoughts on Elite Dangerous for the week, and what I think and how I think it will affect Star Citizen, which I don't think it is. I think Chris in 10 for the Chairman has pretty much given me the confidence to believe that this piece of it, this being able to create your own server, being able to have it moddable piece of Star Citizen is definitely going to be put in. Difference being, remember, meant to be played offline, meant to be played online. So even those of you that deploy overseas, like I said before, somebody's going to have to be hosting the server end of Star Citizen for the rest of the people to connect to it. All right, let's move on from here. All right, here we are for the second piece of my state of the game, and we're back in a hangar. I tried to shoot this in in the Revel and York hangar, but there's something that just draws me back here every single time. And the Revel and York is so white, it actually doesn't have the detail of the asteroid hangar. And I don't know, maybe I'm a pirate at heart? I don't know. I just like being in here. Well, you're going to find that 2 of my ships are gone forever. I have no more Cutlass Red, which I will have to purchase again in the end. I really liked it. I'll probably purchase the next time they put it out when all the interior stuff is done. And, of course, my wonderful Redeemer is gone. So at the end of this video, you will find out who wins the Aurora to give away for my contest that I had last week, which was Melt It or Don't Melt It. Now, I just picked it randomly. It had nothing to do with what you guys said in the video, but some people were passionate about me not melting it. Other people were passionate about me melting it, and there was still probably about 1/3 of the people saying, you know what, it's up to you. Do what you want. And I did what I wanted in the end, and that was always going to be the case. I just wanted to see how the rest of you were going to think about it. Having that in the background is pretty wild, isn't it? So I'm here, and I'm here because I'm thinking about that, right? What play styles are we going to have in the game? And I know I've talked about this in a little bit, right? But there are people that are creating organizations for all different things. You got the guys over at Colonial Movers that want to be a transport guild. You have people like Lamp and people like Imperium that want to be like really big, structured, do everything in the game type guild that's right, not be piracy. You have another group that I'm part of that are pirates, though we'll just leave that alone because that's a top secret account I have that I spilled the beans on last week. And then you have guilds or organizations, sorry, I'm calling them guilds. You got them like mine, the enablers, that are just like-minded people that like to socialize and be in the game together, and will be doing a vast number of things. I have a different division for each type of thing that you can do in the game. Yeah, the Phoenix looks so much better here than it does inside of the Revel and York hangar. I think the upstairs of the Revel and York hangar look amazing, but the hangar floor just lacks the detail that you have in here. I just think when I look at a ship, this is where I believe it should be. So I'm thinking about everything that you could do in the game. And exploration, of course, because of what I own, has always been that piece of the game that interests me the most. But when you have 600,000 plus backers and 100 systems with probably 1,000 jump points or maybe 2,000 jump points, where does that leave exploration? I mean, isn't the universe that's playable in Star Citizen going to be, well, won't it be pretty much fleshed out very quickly in the game? Well, the part of that, I gotta say yes, but when you discover something, the discovery isn't going to automatically be available to everybody else. You could hold on to it for your own personal use, leave it for just you and your organization, or you can sell it to other organizations or to other people in the game. So I'm kind of wondering, what is exploration going to bring in this game if we only have 100 star systems to fly between? And this is after trading in essentially $400 worth of ships, $405 worth of ships, for a $350 ship that's dedicated to exploration. So now I'm a bit concerned because I'm starting to look at the numbers and starting to see that, wow, a ship like that was $450, but a ship like that in front of me will probably be used more often because that will be the flagship, or I should say the meeting place for my organization, than something like the Carrack, which is huge, almost twice the size of that, so it will, according to Chris Roberts, thank you Dr. Jeffrey, be here in the asteroid hangar, so I expect the asteroid hangar to grow since they're talking about it being the place for capital ships. I'm just concerned about the gameplay there. So many other parts of the gameplay are very dynamic and will not suffer from anything like that. Take, for instance, when you're thinking about being a bounty hunter, people are always going to be pirating, they're always going to be breaking the law, you're always going to be able to go out there and collect a bounty for taking them back into, back to Starport to receive justice for their bad deeds. Picture this being the Taurus. Well, it's very easy because the turrets are missing, right? But there's the Phoenix, right? Say I want to be a pleasure yacht and rent it out. Well, that will be something that will be dynamic and be in the game for quite a bit. Say I want to be a transport person. That's something that is always going to be needed and something that I'll be able to do every day in the game. And of course, there's always the pirate, and I don't have my cutlass in here anymore. I'm now down to 0 cutlasses. I used to have a blue, red, and black. I will have a red again someday. I miss it. I miss you, oh red cutlass. But I know that you're going to be reworked and hopefully be offered for sale during a rework with LTI. But no, I doubt it. I got to get my cutlass back. I will. But there's some people that are going to be pirates. And I guess pirates, of all the ships in my hangar, what ship could be used for a pirate? Anything, right? Anything. But probably this ship, even though it's a police cruiser and stuff like that, it's got a small cargo area in the back. It's got a lot of weaponry. It's got weaponry designed to disable and not destroy the Joker Sucker Punch cannons, which are not in the game yet. I think at this point, that's what the Sucker Punch looks like. But it will be on here at some point, and you'll be able to go off into space and start taking down normal law-abiding citizens. You'll be rescuing their cargo for you to sell on the black market. So there's so many different things in the game. Mining, I can't see that disappearing too fast. But exploration with 100 planets, that's one of the things I'm thinking about. What do you guys think? I mean, I trust that CIG will give us more to do. And I know exploration is much more than just going out and finding new star systems and finding jump holes. It's finding navigatable jump holes that are able to be navigated. It's finding jump holes that lead to someplace important. And there may be multiple ones in each different star system. But it's also going to be finding planets and mapping their resources and mapping safe paths through and the resources in asteroid fields and nebulas, I believe. So there's going to be a lot more to it, but I still worry about that one piece. You know, there was a period of time I thought about melting this, but even with the graphical glitches like these over here, not matching up to the wingtip like these over here do, I know it will be fixed in the end. But even so, the MIS is my baby. I'll be keeping it. I thought about melting it for the DUR, and I figured, I could probably just fit it with the same type of equipment and have a DUR that could shoot a lot of missiles. So that's my thoughts for today. I'm very much concerned that a $350 ship dedicated to finding new star systems, new planets, and new resources could be rendered useless very early on in the game. And I'm talking about in the first 6 months of the gameplay. And that's where I'm at today. We have a couple more things to go over, and I'll be doing that in the last piece of the show, which will be coming up right after I get upstairs and close out. And that piece is going to be this week's Hangar Flare contest winner. Last week's, well, I should say all three of them are going to be last week's. last week's Should I Melt It or Not winner. And also, because I was so busy, I didn't do it on Black Friday and totally forgot about it. Who will be the winner of Jet Fueler's constellation model that he'll be sending out to them? I can't wait to see who wins that, because I look at my constellation model, and although it's not perfect, although it's probably not worth $125, it's pretty unique, it's pretty awesome, and sits nicely above my computer on a shelf with the rest of my Star Citizen shrine. All different things that I've gotten from CIG. So I'm pretty happy about that. For this week's contest, I want you to do this. Tell me what your thoughts are on the different play styles inside of Star Citizen that have been promised to us. Specifically, after you tell me what play style you're going to pick, just tell me briefly, and it could be one sentence, do you think that exploration is going to see a big insurgence in the beginning, and by the time a year has passed, not really be useful at all, since everything will be found? So in your own words, try to put that together. So let's go back. Just tell me what playstyle you're going to have, and do you think exploration will be all but gone after the first year of gameplay in the Star Citizen universe? Send that to theaddictedgamer@gmail.com and put SOG12 inside of the subject field. Alright, that is it for this piece. So stand by to see who won the 3 prizes we're giving away this week. Well, here we are at the end of this week's State of the Game, and I have 3, not just 1, but 3 different contests to close out. And I'm still trying to close out the Freelancer MIS. Ben still hasn't sent Sam his Freelancer MIS, so I've got to get Ben into gear. It's gotta be taken care of before we have that Redeemer that's won in just a couple of short weeks. I thought we'd be at 2,000 by now. I totally missed that. Anyway, so Melt It is the first one, and you see why I ask you to put the Melt It, or whatever I tell you to put each week, in the subject field, because I can create very quick rules that put it into that area. Then I go back through painstakingly and look for any ones that were not moved through, and then I go through my junk and make sure, and let me tell you, my junk is just filled with junk. Then I go through there and make sure that nothing got stuck in junk. So here we are. These are the people that have put in for the Melt It contest, Melt It or Not, and yes, I am melted it. I'm sorry for some of you that said don't do it. But we're going to pick this one right now, and this is for an Aurora starter pack that I am begging you to give to somebody that you know can't afford to get in the game right now. Okay? So the winner of this one is going to be, come on, Glenn R. Congratulations. And I have your email. I will take care of getting it to you. It's for this one, it's going to take creating a ticket so they get it to you, so the not being able to gift it ticket, sticker, whatever you want to call it, tag is not on it. So this way, when you get it, you can actually 100% pass it on to somebody else. So stay tuned in just a few seconds, and we will be back. Back for the second contest, and no, Glenn R., you did not win. It's just stuck there from last time. So we're going to pick a random name, and this one is for the bar. So if you win this one, I will be sending you out the bar shortly. And don't think I didn't read all these emails. I did. When I moved them into this, it just put things in there. That's it. So thank you all for telling me if the 100 million was or wasn't. I was under the full assumption that it was not 100% accurate. In fact, not accurate at all. And there were quite a number of people that very quickly found Chris's reply to that, and it's going to be redacted in the next issue of PC Magazine. So let's pick who wins this bar. It is none other than Ibo IKSM. I wish I knew how to say that, but right here, Ibo IKSM, you will be getting this in the mail shortly. Thank you so much. be a lot more entries for. We had a total of 41. I just marked them all on red so I can count. Quite a number of you had a lot of different things that you told me about this one. The question required that you write me what your favorite episode was, and a lot of you gave me not just advice, but why. Not just which episode it was, but why. And I thought that was pretty cool, and I really appreciate you guys taking part in this. I'm trying to make the contest a little bit more for you to put into, not just, send me an email and pray that you win, but ask you to watch the episode and to give your opinions. That way I get better. Mind you, I'm trying my best to get better. So in this one, let's just go hit the button, and Evo, you did not win this also, just like the prior one. That's just there. So I'm not going to do a drum roll. I'm just going to pick a name I should say, and see who it is. It is Mayank Kumar. All right, I am going to get the information over to the wonderful backer that's supporting the contest, which is Jet Fueler over in the Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous thread in the subscriber den. And he will make arrangements with you to have this shipped to you. I really do appreciate all of you taking part in these contests. Generally, I get them done pretty quickly. Sam's having an issue right now getting his freelancer MIS. I just got to go and bring that to Ben's attention once more. I'm sure they're just so busy that they're just not getting it to him quickly. With that said, I would love, last episode, I believe I called on people to see if they wanted to be a community manager, and some people said, what would that entail? I need somebody to watch over two things: the social networking aspect of Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous when I can't. And I think that Dr. Jeffrey is doing an amazing job at research, taking care of getting me the information that sometimes I'm just not available to get. The second piece is that I need somebody to help me run these contests. These contests take a great deal of time and a great deal of effort, believe it or not, because I keep a running spreadsheet of who's in the monthly, or I should say the 2-month contest of trying to drive to the next subscriber level. And in this situation, I just would like it to be a little bit more detailed, a little bit more, I would love for somebody that takes on community manager to be able to help me with these two things. Outside of that, I think you guys are having a amazing time. Oh, Patreon. Did you see that up on the upper right-hand corner? Scroll back if you didn't. I just got another $1 from Patreon. Amazing. You guys are awesome. I love doing these videos, and I can't wait to keep bringing you more content. Today I have quite a big number of videos to produce. I have this one. I have the beginnings of the next Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous. I have 5 for Ben, and another Let's Play Elite Dangerous. All those will be coming out hopefully over the next few days, but they all start production today. With that said, you guys, every one of you, have a wonderful week. You all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon.